Welcome to Op Manager Plus training. Now, let us talk about the alarms and notifications in Op Manager Plus. When we talk about alarms, let me tell you what are the severities which Op Manager Plus can raise alerts as. So the first severity is the lowest one as attention, the intermediate severity as trouble, and the highest severity is critical. You would also receive service down based alerts for the URLs when it go down, or the services or Windows services when that go down. Let us now talk in detail about how an alarm can be triggered in the Op Manager Plus. So for the devices which we are monitoring in the Op Manager module for the server or the network performance metrics, when the violation of the thresholds happen, you would be able to get that as alerts. First, set thresholds. Let's say for your performance metrics, you can just go ahead and then select a particular performance metric on the port protocol which you can see, and it is associated to 19 devices already. So for all these 19 devices, if you wish to change the threshold value, click on the respective performance monitor and set the values right here and save them. If we wanted to set thresholds for a particular template of devices, a particular model of devices, let's say for all the Windows 2016, for all these 9 devices, you would wish to set some threshold values for the performance metrics, let's say edit thresholds, and you could see all of these performance metrics at different protocol, SNMP and WMI, which you could see. Let's say I wanted to set CPU utilization, say if it goes anything above 65%, that is attention, 75% that is trouble, and anything goes above 90% is critical. And ream value is nothing but the value at which you want the Op Manager to clear the alert. So anything which goes less than 64 for the every poll which it happens, and the alert of the CPU utilization would be cleared and becomes green automatically. So this is one way where you can set your threshold and save and associate the same values to all of these 9 devices of Windows 2016, associate them and override all of that. This is one method where you can do it through device templates and on the performance metrics. You can do the same on an individual device as well by clicking on the inventory and the respective device. So now let us see how Op Manager can set the thresholds for you using the AI ML mechanism. So latest releases will have a feature called adaptive thresholds. So when you enable the adaptive threshold, for the CPU, memory and response time, we do have this AI based threshold model where for continuous of 3 days, Op Manager Plus would listen to all the data which is collected and set threshold values dynamically for every hour based on the previous data pattern. So you have the opportunity to set the deviation percentage to receive the alerts. Say if the CPU utilization value deviates about 10% of the current expected value, it would raise attention. And if it is expected to receive such value and its deviation is positive 15%, then it can be trouble. For example, the expected value is say 50% of CPU utilization and it goes anything above 20%, which is like 70% CPU utilization, it would raise a critical alert. So we give the opportunity to define the deviation percentage as well. So based on that, Op Manager can dynamically set thresholds for each and every hour and then get the values and trigger alerts on the same. And you will be able to see all the alarms right here. So being Op Manager Plus, everything under one single roof, you could see all the alarms right here, where you could see the NCM based alerts, the device down alerts, the interface based alerts, the performance violation which we have seen right now. All of these alerts can be seen right then and there. So for any of those alerts, you have the opportunity to check the events which happens on that alert. You would be able to see the notes. Probably for another administrator, if you wish to add a note, you can add a note tagging the respective user and save it so that the next user, when he logs in, he would be able to get the notes of the respective alert as well. Now let's see how to set threshold values for your interfaces. Either based on interface templates or on interface groups, you will be able to go ahead and then set thresholds. let's say you've got an interface group created. You can set threshold values right here for your utilization, errors, and discard rate for the groups. For the interface types, let's say for all of your Ethernet interfaces, you want a certain percentage of a thresholds to be set. Probably get into the interface type, and we can also set the utilization, error rate, and discard rate percentage in each of their threshold settings. And then probably that can also trigger alerts for you when this gets violated for the interfaces. Now let's see what are the other alerts you would be able to find. You could see the NFA alerts, the NCM alerts, the firewall alerts, storage based application alerts, all of these under single same alarms tab itself. It is not that you will have to log into multiple tools to understand how the network is performing in terms of traffic bandwidth or complaints and backup management. It's all under the same roof, and that is the comprehensive Op Manager Plus for you. Now let us see how do we set threshold values and get alerts for the traffic management using Flow. So getting into the NetFlow, you've got alert profiles where you've got real-time data and aggregated data. Real-time data is you can set the data usage thresholds per minute, wherein for the aggregated data it is about the volume packets over a given period of time, and based on that you can set thresholds, and if it gets violated it can also send you the alerts. So when it's say real time, you can add a new profile. Let's say you wanted to select the source only for an interface or a group of interfaces, anything as such, in traffic, out traffic, combined traffic, utilization, volume, speed of packets based on how do we wanted to receive. So let's say utilization goes anything above 85% 3 times in last 30 minutes. So you will wanted to see that as a critical, and then select the email template or any of these templates, and then email it to the respective network administrator. You can email the report as well and gain notifications. And this is that easy to create a notification profile for the real-time alerts. Let's say it's a bandwidth alerts, and I can just save that. So if you want to get that from an aggregated report, so you can just create an aggregated alert profile. So based on the interfaces or groups or any of these groups which you would like to have it, bandwidth reports. So you can set the custom period or the time period which you wanted to do it, and then you will be able to set the combined traffic or the in traffic or the out traffic, the volume and packets. And if it goes anything about, say, let's say for GB, if the volume goes anything above 2 GB, then you want that to be as a trouble or critical or attention, and then you can just send out as a email as well. That is also quite possible. The NCM, in terms of alert profiles, you've got change notifications where you can create a new notification profile for change. So let's say admin profile, so the admin has to receive the same. So if any of the startup or running configuration is changed, running configuration is alone changed, the startup configuration is alone changed, and if the type is authorized or unauthorized changes, any changes which happens either authorized, unauthorized on startup or running, you will want to receive an email to a certain email address. Probably this is the right place for the NCM to do it. So you can do them right here. Or if you want to receive them as traps, or you want to receive them as slots or as a ticket, probably that is all possible. Let us dive deep into how the ticketing can be done. And you can also roll back to the previous version or roll back to the labeled baseline version if any of these changes, say if my startup configuration it seems to be unauthorized, you want to roll back automatically to the labeled version. So you're not supposed to do that in your organization. When unauthorized changes are there, you're not supposed to do that. So that is when you will have to roll back that. So NCM will automatically take that for you. And for your firewall devices, you can create alarm profile can be created for the reporting of firewalls. So all my firewall reports, so when I say the firewalls, either you want normal alerts, anomaly alerts, when you wanted to see under the traffic report, virus report, VPN reports, any of these reports, and then you want to violate certain thresholds and then raise them as alerts and emails, or you want related to bandwidth in terms of how often that happens with number of events generated. That is also quite possible, where you can set emails and send an email notification as well. So this is how you set for your firewall. Lastly, we'll see about the op utils, where you would be able to see the email notification right here for your IP address. When any of the IP address is changed from available to transient or used, or utilization of a subnet is over than 20%, or let's say for 40% you would want to change that, or the utilization of a subnet is greater than or lower than, and you can just set switch port mapper based email alerts when the port becomes used or available. All of these you would be able to raise these email based notifications. Even for your rogue deduction, a new system is deducted, then you can raise them as emails. So by this you have all of these entire Op Manager Plus can raise alerts, notifications. Now let us also talk about how do we create a notification profile for your performance metrics when they get violated in terms of thresholds. So when you go to the notification profiles, Op Manager Plus does support multiple type of notification profiles, either email based notification profile or email based SMS, chat like and Slack Messenger can be integrated and you can receive Slack messages, and you would be able to log a ticket in your service desk plus from Manage Engine or ServiceNow or Jira, or you can raise web alarms which can create sounds in the web itself. So probably you can create a web alert, and you can also invoke a webhook model where you can invoke a particular webhook and generate alerts. You can just pass on the webhook and then get alerts on the third-party tools like your Microsoft Teams, your Telegram, your PagerDuty, and much more. So you can do any of those. So let me tell you how this can be set. So for any of these which you are looking forward to, say if it's an email based notification profile, make sure your mail server settings is ready. If it's an SMS based notification profile, make sure your SMS gateway server details are ready. So here when we talk about the email notification profile, provide the from email to email address, and if you want to add anything to the subject and message, you have a lot of variables which you can add them to. And moving on next, this is the place where you would select the criteria. So when do you want Op Manager alarms to be converted as notifications? So whenever a device goes down in terms of attention travel critical, or whenever there is a problem on the interface, or whenever a particular Windows service goes down. So all of the services are only on a particular service, for example. So, or when any threshold rule gets violated, when any URL is down, or any of these metrics you can just work with, and any configuration is changed or NFA alert is generated, any of those. And when the alarm is cleared, you can also get notifications, and this can be very well used when you create a log a ticket profile, because whenever you create a log a ticket notification profile and this notify when alarm is cleared is selected, what happens? The ticket which gets raised in Service Desk Plus will automatically be closed when the alarm in the Op Manager is cleared. So for that, this option can be checked. Moving on next, you can select the devices to which this needs to be applied, and you can just set the time period when this have to be applied on, 24/7 or during a specific business hours. Any delayed or recurring trigger is needed, and then move next. Give a name to the profile. So threshold violation for your servers. So you can just create a new notification profile for the same. Likewise, you can create multiple notifications and provide multiple email addresses or SMS mobile numbers for different administrators in your organization so that they can gain only the alerts of their devices alone. So that is quite possible. So the notification templates which you see here is nothing but the templates which we can use it for your NFA and firewall email notification. So it's just about providing an email, so that can be used as a template there. So this is how you would be able to set thresholds for any of these monitors and receive alerts and notifications. Now let me tell you how do you integrate the ServiceNow, Jira or Manage Engine Service Desk Plus with the Op Manager Plus. So here you have third-party integrations where you can use the Service Desk Plus or Service Desk Plus Cloud, ServiceNow or Jira, where you can just please click on configure and provide the server details at which the Service Desk Plus is running with the respective port number, and provide the technician API key which you will get from the Service Desk Plus, and then save them. So this also has the feature to sync the devices to the SDP, which is added here in Op Manager Plus, and you can also sync the device relationship mapping to the Service Desk Plus map when you have the layer 2 map being generated in Op Manager Plus. So this is that easy for you. Once the service desk plus configuration is synced, you can use the same in the notification profiles across your NetFlow, NCM Firewall and Op Manager modules for creating tickets. Let us talk about how do you receive alerts when the device goes down. Because device, when they go down, when we monitor through ICMP, it doesn't have a threshold value. So how do we capture that? So device down settings. Here you could see the number of failed polls. 1 can raise alert as attention when device goes down. So when we talk about number of failed polls, so as you know, Op Manager Plus is a monitoring tool based on the polling. So let's say the polling interval for a device is 5 minutes, and each and every device might have different polling intervals. Let's say this device has 5-minute polling interval. So if the first poll, the 5th minute, if it goes down, you get to have attention and you will receive a message as device not responding, probably down or busy. And if it's 3 continuous polls, like 15th minute, if it's still being down and doesn't respond, we can raise that as trouble and provide a message. And if it's continuously down for 5 polls, that is 25 minutes, it will raise as critical and say your proper message as device is completely down. So you can play around with the monitoring interval of the device based on the criticality of the device. Say if you want only 2 failed polls and then raise as trouble, 3 failed polls and then raise as critical, and save them for the global setup for all your devices in Op Manager Plus. Quite possible. This is how you will be able to set device down settings, and this is where you would see the alerts here for the device down. So you can see the device down and you see the events for the same. So that's how the device down alerts are triggered in the Op Manager Plus. Now let us talk about how do we create a root cause analysis of a particular alert, where you can create a RCA profile and select which module that RCA profile has to be for. Let's say I want it for the devices of the server profile, and then let's say apply. For the devices which are servers, let me say I wanted to check on these ESX servers, and let's see what are all the devices which is listed down with their availability or the performance monitors. Let's say I've got the availability right here. Let me just compare the availability percentage of these 2 devices and understand how they perform. This will help you to stack all these performance or the availability metrics in one single page and tell you how that performs. So this will help you to understand how does this device is performing in the different time period, and you can just stack them on top of each other and see how they worked. So by this, we've come to the end of this alerts and notifications on how Op Manager Plus can help you trigger the alerts and send you notifications on time. So probably during the next session, we will talk about how you can create dashboards and get reports from Op Manager Plus.